Hello, everyone. Good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I hope you're having a good one. Today, we're going to study the Unit 22 from the B1 level, and we will be practicing pronunciation on some lines, some sentences, and then we will look at some of the grammar from these lines. So, if you are familiar with the technique, we will just start with the phonetics group, and I will read the phonetics along with me. I will read it slowly and exaggerated, and I will leave time for you to repeat. So repeat. That's very important that you repeat. Don't just listen, repeat. And then we will go to the English and we will do the same. The English will be faster. It will be in a fluent English. So try to imitate me as much as you can. Okay, let's start. Will you change seats with me? Will you change seats with me? I can't see a thing. I can't see a thing. Brainstorming is an excellent way. Brainstorming is an excellent way of finding creative solutions. Of finding creative solutions. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. I'll see you to the door. I'll see you to the door. His parents want him. His parents want him to be an actor. To be an actor. But he wants to be a lawyer. But he wants to be a lawyer. And doesn't have a credit card. And doesn't have a credit card. So as not to have debts. So as not to have debts. I'm going to grow a beard. I'm going to grow a beard. Do you think it will suit me? Do you think it will suit me? We're going to have to shut the window. We're going to have to shut the window. To keep out the mosquitoes. To keep out the mosquitoes. I'm afraid we won't be able. I'm afraid we won't be able to come on Monday. To come on Monday. Excuse me, are you Linda Wilson? Excuse me, are you Linda Wilson? Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. Hello, Miss Wilson. Hello, Miss Wilson. I'm from the Argo Agency. I'm from the Argo Agency. Welcome to Italy. Welcome to Italy. What's his first name? What's his first name? What's her last name? What's her last name? What's their address? What's their address? Are you hot? Are you hot? No, I'm cold. No, I'm cold. And I'm hungry. And I'm hungry. It's not a long flight. It's not a long flight. It's not very far. It's not very far. 13, 14. 13, 14. 15, 16. 15, 16. 17, 18, 19. 17, 18, 19. The other evening, we were eating in a restaurant. We were eating in a restaurant when something funny happened. When something funny happened. Okay, we're halfway through the group. I just wanted to remind you that you should click on the subscribe button, hit the bell for the notifications so that you can have all the notifications from the channel and you won't miss any of the new videos. Let's continue. A young man came in. A young man came in and asked the cashier. And asked the cashier. Cashier. And asked the cashier for all the money. For all the money in the cash register. In the cash register. The cashier explained to him. The cashier explained to him that she couldn't open it. That she couldn't open it unless he ordered something. Unless he ordered something. The young man said. The young man said He wasn't hungry. He wasn't hungry. And left. And left. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. Sorry. I think you're sitting in my seat. I think you're sitting in my seat. I'm sorry. I thought it was free. I'm sorry. I thought it was free. Would you mind moving your bag? Would you mind moving your bag? I can't get past. I can't get past. I'm sorry I didn't see you. I'm sorry I didn't see you. Guess what? Guess what? I saw Sally last week. I saw Sally last week at Barbara's birthday party. At Barbara's birthday party. I didn't know she was in town. I didn't know she was in town. I thought she was away. I thought she was away. She said she was pleased to be back. She said she was pleased to be back. Your phone was busy. Your phone was busy for hours last night. For hours last night. Who were you talking to? Who were you talking to? I was chatting on the internet. I was chatting on the internet. Where were you born? Where were you born? I was born in Brisbane. I was born in Brisbane. But I grew up in Sydney. But I grew up in Sydney. Would you mind? Would you mind giving me a lift to the station? Giving me a lift to the station. Sure, sure. I'll pick you up at 8. I'll pick you up at 8. What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? We're waiting for you, actually. We're waiting for you, actually. Very good. Now, listen to this group again. Repeat. Go back to the beginning of the video. Start again. Listen, repeat, listen, repeat. The more times that you do this, the better your pronunciation will be. This is excellent practice. Don't worry about what you are saying. Don't think about the meaning. Just listen and repeat like music, like listening to music and singing. Ba, 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 ba. So now we'll look at the phonetics, no, the grammar group, and let's just see that page. This is B1, Unit 22, Grammar. Now, if you don't understand some of the words that we worked on, in the description, you will see a a list of all of the words that you can copy and paste and use that to understand better the words. But now we're going to look at the grammar. And so let's start with forms with will. This is the modal auxiliary verb. The statement I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they will come tomorrow. All the forms, all the inclinations are the same. Will. We don't change for third person singular. The negative, we invert the auxiliary and the subject. So I, you, he, she, it. Sorry, that's the negative. We just put not after the auxiliary. I, you, she, it, we, they, will not, won't come tomorrow. Won't is the contraction, so you can use the contraction. Also, the question is the inversion. Will I, you, she, he, it, we, they come tomorrow? So we have the typical auxiliary, subject, infinitive, asi, the kasi anagram. Short answer, yes, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they will. No, I, you, he, she, it, we, they won't. No, I won't. Yes, I will. Contractions. Will is usually contracted with pronouns in both speech and informal writing. I'll, she'll, we'll, you'll, he'll, they'll, it'll. Very, very common. Will is often contracted with nouns in speech, but not usually in writing. Bob will becomes bobble. Bobble, do it. The teacher will do it. So pronouns are not contracted with modal verbs in short answers. Okay? Yes, I will. We don't say yes, I'll. Okay, you can do exercise 1 if you are enrolled in that self-study course. If you want to know something about that, just write me in the chat and I will get back to you. Sureness about the future. 100% sure I will be in class tomorrow. I'm going to be in class tomorrow. Okay, both are possible. The speaker uses will or be going to because he feels sure about his future activity. He is stating a fact about the future. Okay, this is not 100% black and white, but generally they're interchangeable. 90% sure. Bob will probably be in class tomorrow. Bob is probably going to be in class tomorrow. It is very probable. Anna probably won't be in class tomorrow. Anna probably isn't going to be in class tomorrow. It's very, very probable. We're using probably to say that he expects Bob to be in class tomorrow, but he is not 100% sure. He's almost sure, but not completely sure. Word order with probably in a statement, as in be, we use the helping verb Bob is, and then probably. With to in the negative, Anna probably won't. So before the helping verb here in the negative. This is not granite. It's not 100%, but generally that's where we put probably. 50% sure Ali may come to class tomorrow. Ali may not come to class tomorrow. You see, it's 50-50. I don't know what he's going to do. He may come, he may not. May expresses a future possibility. Maybe something will happen and maybe it won't. Indeed, the speaker is saying that maybe Ali will come to class or maybe he won't. The speaker is guessing. Maybe Ali will come to class and maybe he won't. Very similar. Maybe Ali is going to come to class and maybe he isn't. Maybe plus will or be going to gives the same meaning as may. Look at it closely, it's one word. They have the same meaning. Maybe comes at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, maybe. You can do exercise 2. Quoted speech and reported speech. Noun clauses. Quoted speech is the written version of a speaker's exact words. Quotation marks are used. Quotation marks. Sally said, "I am pleased to be back." These are her exact words. Okay, when we are speaking in a normal conversation, we don't have quotation marks. So we just use reported speech. That's why it's so common. Reported speech is the written or spoken version of what the speaker said with the idea of past time. The words are not exact, but follow a precise idea of the exact words reflected in time. Reflected. For example, pronouns and verb forms usually change. So, in our example, Sally said, "I'm pleased to be back." She said, you see, I'm going back in the time. If this was yesterday that she said this, then maybe 3 days later, she said she was pleased to be back. So, she comes from I, and am changes to was. This is reflected in time. Notice that the verb is reported in the past to reflect that time has passed. I am becomes she was and reflects the idea she said. Let's look at some examples. They said we work hard. Reported speech. They said they worked hard. Work becomes worked, present to the past. They said we are working hard. Reported speech, they said they were working hard. Present continuous becomes past continuous. They said we worked hard. Reported speech, they said we had worked hard. The simple past becomes the past perfect. The past perfect. We had worked. They said we have worked hard. They said we had worked hard. Okay, present perfect remains in the past perfect, just like the sentence we saw before. They said we are going to work hard. They said they were going to work hard. The future with going to becomes the future with going to and were. They were. Now, this auxiliary were changes for the person. They said he was going to work hard. If you have a singular subject, you should have a singular verb, the singular form of the verb. They said we will work hard. They said they would work hard. So will becomes would in reported speech. They said we can work hard. They said they could work hard. Could is the reported speech form of the verb can. And you can do exercises 3, 4, and 5 now if you have the course access. Let's look at say and tell. The most common reporting verbs used in reporting speech are say and tell. Notice that told is usually followed by me, told me, or some other indirect object. He told us. You cannot use say with an indirect object. That is optional in both cases. So the young man said that he wasn't hungry and left. The young man said he wasn't hungry and left. That is optional. The young man told her that he wasn't hungry and left. The young man told her he wasn't hungry and left. So that is also optional here. Look closely. You cannot use a indirect object here. Not the young man said me. It's wrong. It's incorrect. The young man said her that he wasn't hungry and left. That is incorrect. When, say, and tell are not used in reporting speech, they are used for different objects. Okay, so let's look at these objects. We tell a story or a joke. We tell a secret. We tell a friend. We tell the truth. We tell a lie. We tell why. Tell me why, or tell me how, or tell me what. We tell the difference between things, that is to distinguish. We tell someone not to do something. I tell you not to run. Okay, so these are common objects for tell. These are also called collocations. Say, instead we have say good morning, say afternoon, say evening, say night, say good night. Say it's true or say it's false. Say a lot or say a little. Say nothing. Say sorry, say thanks, and say please. We say a prayer. We say yes or we say no. We say what you want to say. Tell me what you want to say. Okay, say and tell are both possible here. Say it out loud. Say it with your voice. In other words, say hello. Say goodbye. Say not to do something in general. Instead, you tell me not to do something. Okay, you can do exercise 6. Let's look at the pronunciation of simple past regular verbs. There are 3 different ways to pronounce the ed ending. You can use simply the unvoiced t, t, like worked. Listen, worked. Today I work. Yesterday I worked. One syllable. You can use the d, 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 d. Played. Played. Today I play. Yesterday I played. That's one syllable. Or you can use id. Id is another syllable. So started. Start has one syllable. Started has 2 syllables because we must produce the id sound. In any other verb except with T's and D's, we do not produce that ID sound. Let's look at these verbs. Work, worked, cook, cooked, walk, walked, kiss, kissed, like, liked, stop, stopped, look, looked, drop, dropped. These are regular verbs that end in T, and you will notice that all of them finish with a unvoiced consonant. Cook, cooked, cooked, cook, cooked, cooked, walk, walked, walked, kiss, kissed. All right, let's look at some verbs that finish with a d. Play, played. Show, showed. Close, closed. Open, opened. Enjoy, enjoyed. Love, loved. Try, tried. Rain, rained. Learn, learned. Clean, cleaned. These are all with the d, and these are consonants that finish with a voiced consonant, like opened, rain, rained, close, closed. Notice that close is voiced. On the other hand, kiss is not voiced. Let's look at some regular verbs with the END pronounced in the id form. Wait, waited, want, wanted, need, needed, decide, decided, hate, hated, taste, tasted, end, ended. Okay, if you have a little problem with that, go back in the video, listen to these again, pause the player after the sound and repeat with out loud. Say it out loud. Let's look at some phrasal verbs. Unseparable. Call on means to ask someone to speak in class or in a meeting. The teacher called on Ali or Ali. Come from means to originate. Where do these bananas come from? Get over means to recover from an illness or a shock. Sue got over her cold and returned to work. Get over. Get off means to leave a bus or an airplane or a train or a subway. Yes. I got off the bus at Maple Street. Get on is the same. It means to enter. You get on a bus, an airplane, a train, or a subway. I got on the bus at Pine Street. Get in means to enter a car or a taxi. Don't confuse this. Get on, train, bus, airplane, subway. Get in, a car or a taxi. I got in the taxi at the airport. Get out of, instead, is to leave a car or a taxi. Get out of something. Get off, instead, is a bus, airplane, train, or subway. Look into is to investigate. Someone needs to look into this problem. Run into means to meet by chance. I ran into Peter at the market. Okay, you can do 7 and 8 if you have access to that. Let's look at expressing ability with can and could. Bob can play the piano. B, you can buy a screwdriver at a hardware store. C, I can meet you at Ted's tomorrow afternoon. Can expresses ability, both in the future and in the present. Let's look at the negative. I can't understand that sentence. I cannot understand that sentence. I can not understand that sentence. The negative forms of can may be written can't, cannot, or cannot. The pronunciation between cannot together and cannot is really, there's no difference. Our son could walk when he was 1 year old. The past form of can is could. He couldn't walk when he was 6 years old. 6 months old, sorry. The negative could, couldn't, or could not. It's more common, of course, to use the contracted form. Let's look at could now to express possibility. This is past possibility. This is past ability. Our son was able to walk. He was not able to walk. So could can mean past ability, but that is not its only meaning. Another meaning of could is possibility. In A, he could be sick has the same meaning as he may, he might be sick. It is possible that he is sick. In A, could expresses a present possibility. In B, could expresses a future possibility. Let's look at this. Why isn't Greg in class? I don't know. He could be sick. Look at those dark clouds. It could start raining any minute, right? This is future and this is present, could. It's the same form as this, our son, subject, could, auxiliary, walk, the infinitive. He could be sick. He is the subject, could is the auxiliary, and be is the infinitive. They're exactly the same. You have to understand from the context. Let's look at a few phrasal verbs. These are separable. Cross out, draw a line through. I crossed out the misspelled words. Fill in means complete by writing in a blank space. We fill in blanks in grammar exercises. Fill out, write information on a form. I filled out a job information. Okay, these are a little bit confusing. Fill in a blank and fill out an application. Fill up is to fill completely with gas, water, coffee, etc. We filled up the gas tank. Find out is to discover information. I found out where he lives. Have on is to wear. She has a blue blouse on. I have on a t-shirt. Look over is to examine something carefully. Look over the essay before you hand it in. To point out is to call attention to something. The teacher pointed out a misspelling. Print out is to create a paper copy from a computer. I finished the letter and I printed it out. I printed out the report. Tear down is to destroy a building. They tore down the old barn and built a new one. Tear out or tear out of is to remove, usually paper, by tearing. I tore a page out of a magazine. Tear up, instead, is to tear into small pieces. I tore up the secret note. Tear or turn around or turn back means to change to the opposite direction. After a mile, we turned around or we turned back. Turn over, on the other hand, means to turn the top side to the bottom. Turn over. I turned the paper over and wrote on the back. All right, we still have some more phrasal verbs in this lesson. Ask out is to ask someone to go on a date. Tom asked Mary out. They went to a movie. Call back means to return a telephone call. I'll call you back tomorrow. Call off means to cancel. We called off the picnic due to bad weather. Call up is to make a telephone call. I called up my friend in New York. Give back means to return something to someone. I borrowed Al's pen. Then I gave it back to him. Hang up means to hang on a hanger or a hook. I hung up my coat. I hung my coat up in the closet. Pay back is to return borrowed money to someone. Thanks for the loan. I'll pay you back soon. Put away means to put something in its usual or proper place. I put the clean dishes away. Instead, put back means to return something to its original place. Now, this is a little bit confusing. Put something in its usual or proper place is to put it away. Put it back means to put it into its original place. So many times you can put away or put back. It's the same. I put my papers back into my briefcase. Okay, we wouldn't say I put them away into my briefcase because I took them out and I put them back. Okay, put out means to extinguish or to stop a fire, a cigarette, something that is on fire. Put out the campfire before we left. We put out the campfire before we left. Shut off is to stop a machine, a light. That also means turn off. I shut off my printer before I left the office. Try on is to put on clothes to see if it fits. Put on clothing. I tried on several pairs of shoes. Turn down means to decrease the volume. She turned down the music. It was too loud. Turn down also means to decline something, to refuse something. Turn up is to increase the volume. Al turned up the radio. He likes loud music. Okay, we've done a lot. Let's do just one more. Participial adjectives, ed versus ing. Indian art interests me. That means I am interested in Indian art. The past participle ed and the present participle ing can be used as adjectives. The past participle interested describes how a person feels. I feel I am interested in Indian art. It's not correct to say I am interesting. Indian art is interesting. The art is interesting. Okay? The present participle, interesting, describes the cause of feeling. The cause of interest is Indian art. So we have the cause here. This is not a feeling that I feel or someone feels, it's just in general. The news surprised Kate. Kate was surprised. Surprised describes how Kate felt. The past participle carries a passive meaning. Kate was surprised by the news. You see, by the news, that is the agent for the passive verb. Okay, but you can think of it just as an adjective. It's the same. The news was surprising. Indeed, the news was the cause of the surprise. Okay, the news is the subject. Did you hear the surprising news? Like other adjectives, participle adjectives may follow be, as in the examples A through D. Or they can come in front of nouns, like in E and F. E, did you hear the surprising news? F, Roberto fixed the broken window. That's not really a good example. Uh, okay, so, well, we've done a lot today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, push the subscribe button, click the bell so that you can receive all of the videos that we will be doing here. Don't miss one, and improve your grammar and your pronunciation. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.